So I try to oversimplify things probably as much as anybody I know. And I love this idea of these units of business that are almost like handoffs in a relay race, right? There's the connect unit, the convert unit, the coach unit, and the scale unit. And the connect unit is really that initial stage of forming a relationship with a prospective client. Not necessarily a client, but a prospective client, because not all of the people who might be curious, interested, might be even qualified are going to choose us. They may choose a different solution. They may kind of kick the can down the road about actually choosing a solution. But we want to build our own kind of community of these types of leads, of these types of prospects. So the first thing that we need to do is identify who they are, who these prospects are that we want to reach. So what the radius is, my mentor and friend Dean Jackson talked about being like 5 mile famous. And so we want to be well known to the people in that respective market that fit the profile of the person we're looking for. So we want to know who they are, and then we want to know what their dream come true outcome is, what the dream come true result that they're looking for actually is. So if we know this about those people, now we have to start to create some awareness, because frankly, in a lot of cases, we're invisible to them and they're invisible to us. We kind of know who they are and what they want, but we don't actually know the granular stuff, like, hey, what's their actual name? Where do they live? What are they doing currently? We have this kind of general overview, but we haven't actually met. So now we need to meet. And so if we can determine where to find them, whether it's online or offline, we want to be in those places. We want to be where the prospects are going to be able to see us. And the obvious default setting for so many of us is somewhere like Facebook or Instagram. And we want to show up there and we want to give them something of value to them in exchange for their contact information and permission to follow up. So a lead magnet, a book, a free trial, a guide, something like that. And we want them to simply kind of raise their hand and say, yes, I'm interested in solving this problem, achieving this outcome. I'm interested not necessarily in a particular program at this point, but I'm interested in the outcome that you guys could provide. So we want to create that value exchange. We're going to give them something of value to them. They're going to give us permission to follow up and the ability to follow up that contact information. But don't just limit what we're doing in the Connect unit to Facebook and Instagram. Wherever your people are, we want to be in that place, right? So if they're members of a local PTA, is there a relationship that we can build? Can we sponsor something? Can we donate something? Can we be at some of their events? Can we run charity fundraisers? If they're parents of athletes that play for local sports teams or in the club organizations, can we be seen? Can we be visible there? Do they do business with other businesses in our community that we can go form strategic alliances with, business partnerships with? And then we can always do local kind of grassroots advertising, whether it's yard signs, whether it's advertising in local publications, doing direct mail campaigns. There are a lot of options available to us that frankly were a lot more popular when I was starting out as a business owner than they are today, because so many people have shifted all of their efforts to the online world. And then finally, kind of circling back to that online world, I mean, so many people, when they're actually looking for a solution, they go to Google, right? They go to Google, and the first thing they're going to see is your Google business listing. So you need to be very assertive in building out your Google business listing, getting plenty of reviews, having up-to-date photos, filling out everything that you can, from hours to doing periodic updates. You want to be making a great first impression when somebody finds you on Google. So that's how we're going to connect. And if we do a good job with that unit, then there's a handoff to the next unit, which is the convert unit. And we'll cover that in the next episode.